Okay, everybody, welcome back. At this point, you should have watched this Chapter 2, Video 1, which was very short. I only went through a few slides. And then you should have watched this Heredity Foundation video. And now you're moving on to Chapter 2, Video 2. So back into our PowerPoints, we've already covered this slide, which takes us right here to the slide about DNA. So picking up there, you will see DNA again, and you'll need to know that DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. So that's what you'll need to know about it. But DNA are large strands that make up genes, and they're double spiral or helix shape. They're composed of phosphate and simple sugar and base pairs adenine with thymine. And you don't really need to worry about something that complex. But what I do want you to know is, remember, we already talked about from our previous slide that we have chromosomes, there's 23 pairs of chromosomes, and inside the chromosomes are genes. And now I'm telling you that inside the genes are DNA. So we're going back layers and layers, getting smaller and smaller. All of this is within each individual cell in the human body. So this picture right here kind of tries to break that down as well. So it's showing you that here's the DNA, which are in genes, and the genes are in the chromosomes, and the chromosomes are here in the cell. You can see this picture in your textbook on page 48 as well. Also, around page 48 to 49, they're going to talk about, they use the word zygote. And you need to know that that's a new cell formed from the union of a sperm and an ovum. So it is a fertilized egg. They use that term, and so you'll need to make sure you understand what it is, so that you understand when you hear it in use. They're going to use it a lot. Okay. So next, this is on page 49, we're looking at mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis is cell division by which growth occurs and tissues are replaced. The key word here to remember is growth. And there's strands of DNA that break apart, they duplicate, and are rebuilt. And the result is identical copies of a DNA strand. So it's almost like duplicating. Think about it most like going on a copy machine, making more, duplicating. So growth, more, duplication of DNA. Mutations are the exception. So typically it goes just as planned. Now here's a picture kind of showing mitosis here. So what happens is you have the DNA there, and then in the second column you can see where it's breaking in half, and then what it does is each one of those forms a new one. So then you have two. And again, as far as those parts, the A's, the T's, the C, and the G, I don't want you to get overly caught up in that or worry if you feel like that's over your head. That's not something we're going to test on. And I just really want you to understand the most basic functions. So next we look at meiosis, and this is cell division of, by the way, you will see meiosis again, and you need to know that it is reduction division. Remember the other one was like an addition and growth. I said duplicate, think of a duplication machine. This one, it's reduction and division. So let's look at it a little bit more closely. Cell division by which sperm and ova are produced. 23 chromosome pairs divide. Result is a new cell with only 23 chromosomes. So you had a pair, so you had the pair of 23. Now they're going to divide and you only have the 23, not 23 pairs. 22 pairs are autosomes. The 23rd pair are sex chromosomes, and it determines the sex, X from the mother and X or Y from father. So by the way, what this means is that Mom always contributes an X to the sex, to determine the sex of a child. The father is either going to determine, it's going to be the real determiner of the baby's gender, because it's either going to contribute an X or a Y. So that's always sometimes eye-opening to a lot of people, that mom doesn't control it at all. It's totally on dad. So if you're struggling with any of these words, it might have been a while since you've had biology. So autosomes, sex chromosomes, all of those definitions are found on page 49. Again, just as a reminder, the meiosis at the top, you're going to see that again. You need to know that it's tied to reduction, division. All right, so here are your 23 pairs of human chromosomes, and you'll see that the one in the box is the 23rd pair that's going to determine the sex of the child, the gender of the child. So you'll see female is XX, male is XY. The first X is what's always given from the biological mother. The second one is what the biological father contributes. If he contributes an X, you have an XX, so the child will be female. If he contributes a Y, then you have an XY, and the child will be male. Okay, have you ever heard of 23andMe? That's what they're talking about, these 23 sets of chromosomes. That's those, you may have seen commercials on TV where you can find out more about your, everything from your ancestry to, they'll also tell you certain health things. What they're doing is they're looking at your chromosomes. And the next thing that I want you to do too is look at the true or false on the top of page 50 in your book. And there it was Truth or Fiction Revisited. It is true that your father determines whether you are a female or male, which I've already kind of gone over, but they describe it as well there on page 50. We're going to stop this video so that you can watch the short videos, two of them. One is mitosis and one is meiosis. So you're going to stop this video. I'll put it in the right spot in our Moodle, and then there'll be two videos below that you're going to watch. And then we'll have another video, video 3, that you'll pick up with.